You're watching the SB Nation YouTube channel. I'm T. Kyle King coming to you from dogsports.com, bringing you the very latest in Georgia Bulldogs sports news. Today we're going to be looking at our Georgia sports calendar for Friday, March 2nd. Very busy day in Bulldog Nation. The action begins with the women's golf team. They're going to be competing for 3 days up at Hilton Head in the Darius Rucker Intercollegiate. Yes, that Darius Rucker. Staying in the Palmetto State, the men's and women's tennis teams will be taking on the South Carolina Gamecocks. The men's tennis team will be hosted by South Carolina in Columbia beginning at 2:30, whereas the women's tennis team will be inviting South Carolina down to Athens. They begin at 3 p.m. Interesting thing about the tennis teams, the Georgia tennis teams are a combined 19-2 on the season. Can they continue their winning ways as we get into SEC play? Moving along, the women's lacrosse team will be hosting the A-Town Throwdown Tournament in Athens at the intramural fields. You want to be on the lookout for the Georgia women's lacrosse team taking on BYU at 4 o'clock and Colorado at 8 p.m. Also in tournament action in the Classic City, we have the women's softball team. They're going to be hosting the 4th annual Bulldog Invitational. This will be the 3rd softball tournament being held in Athens already this season. But the women's softball team going to be taking on Cleveland State at 5 o'clock and Rutgers at 7 p.m. Moving over to Foley Field, we have the baseball team. They're going to be beginning the first game of a 3-game set with Western Illinois in Athens. First pitch scheduled for 6 o'clock. This is going to be the latest in a long line of games being played at home. Georgia opens with 12 straight at Foley Field, 22 in a row in the Peach State before their first true road game at Vandy on March 23rd. Look for the baseball team to continue its winning ways as we prepare to get into SEC play. The women's gymnastics team going to be the marquee event of the day, Stegman Coliseum, beginning at 7:30 p.m. The number 4 Gym Dogs hosting the number 3 UCLA Bruins. Now, obviously, Georgia's main gymnastics rivals are right here in the SEC in the form of Alabama and Florida. But don't overlook the importance of UCLA. Even though they're on the opposite side of the continent, don't forget, 13 of the last 15 women's gymnastics national championships have been won by these two schools. Big day anytime the Bruins come to Stegman Coliseum. Next up will be men's lacrosse. Going to be taking on Pittsburgh in Athens at 8 o'clock. As of Monday evening, the laxpower.com power rankings had Georgia ranked 17th and Pitt ranked 22nd. Ought to be a good game for a men's lacrosse team coming off a big win last weekend over arch rival Florida. Finally, we cap off a big day of sports in Bulldog Nation with the women's basketball team going to begin competing as the number 3 seed in the women's basketball SEC tournament in Nashville at 10 o'clock. You want to tune in for that. And if you're going to be in the Classic City, you want to make it to at least one, if not 2 or 3 of these sporting events. Very big day for Bulldog Nation on Friday. Check out the dogs. Cheer them on in every sport you can. Go Dogs.